First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and great glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and salutations to the elect pushing His truth to the four corners of the earth in truth and in sincerity. Right. This is Revelations chapter 19 and verse 20, and we read, "And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone." Right. The mark of the beast is the microchip. All right. In this particular video, we're going to be talking about and breaking down the miracles and the wonders of the mark of the beast, which is the microchip. And if you take it, this is what will happen to you. This is Revelation chapter 14 and verse 10. And we read, "The same, if you take it, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, which is righteous anger. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. You shall be nuked in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb," which is Yahweh Shai. Right. So if you take it, you're destined for destruction. All right. But in this video, we're going to be talking about the miracles and the wonders, which is going to deceive the masses into taking the mark of the beast. Of course, it's going to be forced on everybody eventually, but a lot of people are going to take it voluntarily before it's mandatory. Right? There's a lot of applications with the microchip, which is the mark of the beast, in education, entertainment, and in the medical field. If you have Parkinson's disease, the microchip can cure it. The mark of the beast can cure it. If you have a severed spine, let's say you're paralyzed from the neck down, they could put a chip in your brain and then put another chip where your spine was severed at. And your brain will send the signals down to the lower, or it will send the signals through the chip to the other chip, and the chip will send the signals down to your lower body, thus you being able to walk again. And this guy in this video that I'm going to play, he's going to break down all the experiments that they did and show you the miracles and the wonders of the mark of the beast, in which people are going to take it for. But with no further ado, let's hop inside of this video.
It's good to be here. My name is Steve Hoffman, but in Silicon Valley, they call me Captain Hoff. That is my nickname. I am the captain of Founderspace, and Founderspace is an incubator and accelerator. It went black. Here we go. Yeah, an incubator and accelerator that works all over the world. So I spend 70% of my time traveling the globe looking at new technology. We have over 50 partners in 22 countries. And Founderspace has been rated by Forbes magazine as the #1 accelerator for overseas startups in Silicon Valley. We have had many famous startups in our co-working space, Soma Central, like Instagram, AngelList, Foursquare, and today I'm going to talk about some of the technologies that most fascinate me.
And no matter what this chip is able to do, we're not ignorant to Satan's devices. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And Satan's main device is the mark of the beast, which is the microchip.
So, technologies are the future of the brain, our human brain, and where it is headed with technology. So if we examine our brain, we will realize that for over 100,000 years, our brain has remained the same. But the world around us has changed radically. So think about it. We have the same brain as a prehistoric cave person, as a Neanderthals, it's same brain. But the world has totally changed. That is the power of our brain. It's very elastic. It can reprogram itself. But now we're going to begin to change our brains. And we are doing this with new technology. Now, some of the basic technology out there, EEG, allows you to actually measure your brain waves. And these devices can tell if your concentration levels. They can be used to actually move a cursor on a screen. There are applications for these devices in entertainment. They're working on them for controls for games. In medical, these devices are being used for conditions like PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and ADHD and other conditions. And they're being used for education. They have applications now for children to study. And they measure their concentration levels and can actually change the applications as the children learns. But where we're headed, and let me tell you, 1 minute, is these devices are now capable of actually recording dreams, but not in a very granular way. In a very primitive way, they can actually capture and identify what a person is dreaming.
Now, Esau already perfected this technology. They're going to be able to read your dreams. Not just that, everything that he's going to tell you has a back door to it. And what do I mean? If they're able to read your dreams and see what you're dreaming, they're also able to implant dreams inside of you. You know, if you can cure depression with this chip, they can also give you depression, make you angry, can basically control your emotions, right? If you're able to read people's minds, if you can hack their chip, which people will be hackable, then they can plant thoughts inside of you. Okay? You got to think about this thing. The human body now, if you get this chip, this mark of the beast, the elites will essentially be able to control you, your emotions, your movements, and all of that. All right?
So they have done studies where they've hooked these devices up to a person's head. They've had them dream. They woke them up. And then they asked them to recall memories in their dreams. And they read the patterns of the brain. And then the person goes back to sleep. And if they dream of the same things, they can recognize those patterns. That is just the beginning of where we are headed. Right now, scientists in laboratories around the world are developing brain chips. Now, these are chips.
And we know the brain chip by Elon Musk is called what? The Neuralink, which he tells you is the cure to a lot of things. Even they said something even with death. Now, they're going to get deeper in this August 28th. So brothers and sisters, if you stumble across this video, August 28th, Elon Musk is holding some type of thing where he's going to talk about the matrix within the matrix dealing with this chip. Okay? It's going to be a edifying little event for the brothers and sisters that can see through it.
Chips that can be inserted into the brain, and they are wireless. And let me show you. They have actually had a monkey that broke its back. So its spinal cord was severed. The monkey was paralyzed from the waist down. But they inserted a chip in the monkey's brain, and then they inserted another chip in its lower spine. And they allowed the brain to communicate with the lower spine. As soon as they did this, the monkey could walk again. That is amazing.
That's one of the miracles and wonders of this chip that will deceive the masses.
Totally amazing. So they could actually transmit the thoughts of the monkey wirelessly to parts of the body. But it gets even more amazing than that. So they now have in a laboratory monkeys with chips in their brain. And then they have an electric wheelchair. And just by thinking, just with the thought of the monkey, they can drive the wheelchair around. Think about that. If a monkey can do that, what could you do if you had that chip in your brain? They have also done experiments with monkeys with a chip in their brain and a robotic arm. And the monkey, just by thinking, can reach out and grab something like food and feed itself.
This is going to be also a miracle and a wonder of the mark of the beast, which is the microchip. For people who went to war, got their legs blown off, or somebody who caught diabetes and had to get their leg amputated or their arm amputated, they now can get robotic arms and robotic legs and move them with with thought. Now, you don't know this. Well, you probably do know this, but your brain sends a signal down to your arm when you want to pick up a cup or you want to get up and walk. Your brain is actually moving your legs from the frontal lobe, right? So you really don't have to think too hard. So if they hook up this brain chip to you, you're going to be able to move like regularly, depending on what how advanced the arm is or how advanced the leg is. This is going to be a miracle and a wonder of this chip, which is the mark of the beast.
It's amazing if you think about it. So the monkey's thoughts are actually able to control things outside their body. So when we start to think about the future, about where technology is headed, this is where we're going. We will have brain chips in humans. And the people who will get those brain chips first are people who suffer from severe medical conditions. So if you have a severe medical condition, like you're paralyzed from the neck down, or you suffer a brain disorder like Alzheimer's disease or Parkinson's disease, and that brain chip can restore your quality of life, would you?
That's going to be one of their slogans. Take the chip and it can restore your quality of life.
Hesitate to get the chip? No, of course not. You would say, put the chip in my brain. So that is starting right now, these experiments.
Right. He said, would you hesitate to get the chip? No. You would say, put the chip in my brain. These wonders and miracles are going to deceive a lot of people. And at the end, they're going to be nuke food or nuke fuel.
Experiments. And even more interesting, scientists have done experiments with rats, and they have chips in the rat's brain. And what they did was they taught a rat how to do certain things. And when the rat did all these complex things, it could get food. Now, it took the rat weeks to learn that. Weeks. But then they hooked the rat's brain chip to the internet. And they had another rat in another city. And instantly they connected those two rats' brains. And do you know what happened? The other rat knew how to get the food right away. It didn't have to learn anything. The knowledge was transferred from one brain of a living animal to another brain.
And this is one of the other miracles and wonders of the microchip, which is the mark of the beast. Somebody can download a whole dictionary to their brain. Somebody can download certain experiences, different languages, how to get certain places without a GPS, certain cooking skills, medical skills, how to do CPR, surgery, all of these things. They're going to be looking at other people who don't take it like, why the hell not? But we all know it's going to be forced. You know, there's a lot that goes with this chip. You know, a lot of things is going to happen around before they force it. Like they might force it through this COVID-19 thing. So people will be looking at us like, why not take it so we could get back to normal? But this is going to be the wonders and miracles of why people will voluntarily take it when it gets pushed out. All right?
That is amazing. That opens up a world of...
Also, you'll be able to dream and just shoot your dream over to somebody, and they'll instantly understand what you saw, because they're going to talk about VR, virtual reality. To the brothers that know, the PlayStation and Oculus Rift and the PS Vive or the Vive, like it's virtual reality, and people, they get injured playing it because it's so realistic. But you have to have controllers and something on your head to put you in that realm. Okay. Now with this chip, which is the mark of the beast, you're not going to need all that equipment. You're going to be able just to tap into this world. Now, there was a anime out for the brothers that watch anime. It's called Sword Art Online. Now, in Sword Art Online, they went into a virtual reality world, and the owner of it shut it down so they couldn't log out. Now, Esau can do this to you too. You go inside of virtual reality, he don't have to let you out. Watch STEM, to where the chip took over the dude's body and he was in his brain in a totally fabricated virtual reality world. I know it might seem, strange, but this is the proof right here. Everything that they can do, the wonders and miracles of this microchip, which is the mark of the beast.
Possibilities, because if they can do that in rats today, imagine 10 years from now what they can do in humans, and we will go there. So, mind-to-mind communication. This is something of science fiction that we all read about. But this is actually possible today, as I just showed you. So there will come a point where if we have a chip in our brain, and you out there have a chip in your brain, we can communicate. We can communicate without talking. We can communicate when you're halfway around the world. And we can exchange knowledge. So, if you look at a world where we have these chips that are connected to the internet, all of a sudden, every piece of information on the internet becomes accessible to our minds. Now, when we look back at today and we have to go to Baidu or Google and type it in, that will seem so primitive. Nobody will do that. You will just think, what knowledge do I need? And it will appear there for you to use. But it gets even weirder, stranger, because we will not only be able to transfer knowledge, but we will be able to transfer memories. Now, so you could have an experience like skydiving, and all of a sudden you could transfer that experience to a friend, and all of a sudden they have experienced what you have experienced. It gets even weirder.
Now, check out the wickedness of that. Now, somebody like the porn industry. The porn industry will be booming because people will just upload their experiences of the sex that they had with this woman, that woman, or whatever. And then you can download that memory and experience the sensation and all of that. He's going to talk about it. All right. Now, if someone was to break up with their wife and they recorded them having sex, they can upload, not just, how people do today, they upload a video because, the girl left them or whatever. Then they upload her naked pics or upload videos of them having sex and all this to expose her body. Now they can upload the whole feeling. Now people are going, actually, it's like they fucked you, that woman. All right. Check out the wickedness of that right there. But this is going to be another wonder and miracle of why people want to take this mark of the beast, which is the microchip.
Because we will be living our lives as our lives. We know our lives and our memories. But you will all of a sudden have access to anybody's life who wants to make it available to you. People will put open source their lives. So
now, I'm slacking for keep pausing it. But also remember, there's a back door to everything that he's telling you. To transfer memories, to download memories. They can force down elites, Esau, can force memories on you that you never actually had. They can make you bug out. They can make you really wild out. Now, in Revelations 19:19, as a matter of fact, let's get it. You'll see where I'm going with this. Revelations 19:19, and I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. This is when Yahushua and the angels come, right? Let's get 2 Ezra chapter 13. Let's get, I believe it's 9. Now let's start at 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Right. They were afraid when Yahushua, he's going to come with the angels, and they're going to be scared of Yahushua, but they're going to still fight because there's something called taking orders. And when you have this chip inside of you, you're not going to have a choice but to obey what they say. All right. Look at the movie STEM. That's a movie you brothers and sisters should watch. Okay. And to prove that this is Yahushua coming, it says, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream, starting at verse 1. I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, and it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong, which is Yahushua, with the thousands of heaven. That's him coming with the angels. I just got that in Revelations 19:19. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
Others can download pieces of their lives and experience those things. That will be really strange. We won't know the difference between our own memory and a memory we acquired from someone else.
He said, we won't know the difference. Right? They can plant memories inside of you, and also they can control your emotions. And ultimately, they can just control you, right? Because they actually have this hooked onto your brain. If you brothers know the brain, you have a frontal lobe. It controls your motory functions. It controls everything. The way you walk, your lips when you talk, you know what I mean? The way you move your eyes, all movement is given to your frontal lobe, which is all motory functions. You got your optical lobe, which is in the back of your head. All right, it's for sight. You got your parietal lobe and your temporal lobe, which is on the side, right side and the left side. That deals with smell, smell and hearing, and touch, things like that. You got your olfactory gland, which is, I believe, on the temporal lobe. But the reason I say all that is to prove the point that if you have this brain chip inside of you, it can control you. Another movie you brothers should be watching, few sisters should be watching, is Divergent. All right? Where the peoples took the chip, or was it Divergent? Or Insurgent or something like that. It was one of those movies, but they go with each other. One's the first part, the other one's the second part. But those who took this chip in this movie, when they the people who didn't take it, when they got up, or they did or didn't, I don't know. But the ones who took it, they just got up and started just following orders, and they was going to shooting people, and they were just following orders to shoot anybody and do anything that the people who controlled the chip wanted them to do, and they were controlling it by like a supercomputer, right? They're going to be able to control you. So the people who's going to go fight Yahushua, they're going to have no choice. They take this chip, it's a wrap. They're going to do it. They're going to be sore afraid, but yet they durst fight.
Think about that. It gets even stranger. So, all of us are here learning at Siebes, right? Getting EMBAs and MBAs. Well, this will be obsolete because Siebes will literally be in the cloud. And you will just download from all the best minds in the world whatever you need to know when you need to know it. Our brains we will no longer have universities as we have them today. That will change. Information will be on demand. Information will be commoditized. Knowledge will be commoditized. All of us will be smarter, have infinite amounts of storage, and infinite access to information. It will be unheard of. We will no longer be this isolated human being. We will be connected to everything. So, you can imagine not only will we be able to get knowledge, but we can actually have full experiences in our head. So right now we have these clunky VR units that we have to put on. But in the future, you can just download a whole environment and actually live in it. And all of you might think, this is not real. But do you know, every night when you dream, those dreams are real. No matter how fantastic your dreams are, they are real. You feel like you're really there. Our brains have that capability already built in. All it takes is the technology to stimulate and transfer the right images in our brain, so our brain creates them, and then we will live like the difference between us dreaming and reality will be blurred. We will be spending a lot of time outside our bodies. So, think about this. You, as a human being right now, are trapped in this body. But once you're...
He said, you're trapped in this body. You got to think about, he's really trying to push this transhumanism. This is why they put this whole trans movement out. They killed two birds with one stone because they're faggots too. All right? And they're pedophiles. It's more like three birds with one stone. This whole trans thing made pedophilia okay and made homosexuality okay. That was making transhumanism okay, which is you merging with technology. All right, you got transsexual, which is to change your sex. You got transracial, which is to change your race. You got trans age, which is now you can change your age. Now, when you combine them, transsexual and transracial and trans age, now a grown ass man that looked like Joe Swatson off of Family Guy, he can say he's now a black little girl, age 9, due to transracial, trans age, and transgender. All right. So now when they get people to accept that, which people already did, accept the whole trans thing, now they introduce transhumanism. Now you can change from being a human. They're pushing this whole cyborg thing, you know? You ever wonder why you look at certain things on when it deals with cyborgs and shit on animes and movies? The cyborg dude is always a so-called black man, because they really want you Jakes to do this, because this whole thing is about taking down the Israelites, man.
Connected to the internet, you are no longer trapped in your body. You can actually be anywhere at any time that any other person or any other device is getting sensory information. So there could be a robot on Mars, and you could literally tap into the robot on Mars, and it would be like you're on Mars. It could totally recreate the experience, including the sensations, the physical sensations, like everything of you being on Mars. You can live through other people, your favorite pop star, your favorite scientist. You could be in Elon Musk's head right now, walking around doing what he's doing, if Elon Musk allowed you to do that. It gets so strange because our senses now, we have our 5 senses of our body. But suddenly, if we are connected to a world of intelligent machines and intelligent sensors all over, we will no longer have 5 senses. We will have access to hundreds of sensory input, infrared, right? All these UV, all these different types of senses that we never even experienced before. It will radically change how we perceive existence. So if you start to go down this path, you see, we won't even be, our life today will be totally alien to us. We will be living in a whole nother reality. that is blending information, sensory information, data information, memories, all of this from all around the world in this vast internet. And that will and can happen. So let's go even further. Experiencing other lives. So all of us experience things in our life. But now we will be able to have many lives. You can have many lives because you can access other people in other places and live through them. And if you want to think about this, it can be almost like heaven. Why do I say this? Because if you study every major religion in the world, every religion, Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, what those religions promise us is that we will escape our bodies in the future. We will go to...
Well, to the Israelites out there, we're the only ones that's going to get new bodies. Everybody else is going to live and die. We're going to be the only ones on earth that does not die, ever. All right? Now, all these other religions he's talking about, you die. But they talk about reincarnation and you coming back. And you could be a butterfly. You could be a fucking tree. You could be a rock. No, that's not what we're talking about, okay? We're the only ones that's going to get new bodies and escape this decrepit, broke down, vile, getting sick every goddamn weak body. All right? Ailments and your feet hurt, your knees hurt, your back hurt. You know what I'm saying? Your vision going bad, you're balding. Now, we're going to get new bodies, all right? We're the only ones, all right? But he's trying to, look how the devil's trying to mix it in, all right? He's trying to mix religion into taking the mark of the beast, all right? Which, if they were smart, they'll link it to the Bible, which will let you know it's the mark of the beast and the destruction that comes behind it. But it was only given to the elect, all right? And only the elect is not going to take the mark of the beast. And I'm talking about you Israelites, man, because some devils ain't going to take it too. Some devils ain't going to take it and all of that. But their destruction is inevitable. They're going into slavery, and then their annihilation comes after the 1,000 years of hardcore captivity.
Some heaven or nirvana or a state of non-being or a state of inclusiveness with everybody. No longer will we and our consciousness be confined to our bodies as an individual. In fact, if you look at us right now as a human being, if I feel pain, if I'm in pain, nobody else can feel the pain I feel. If you're in pain, I can't feel your pain. I can feel sorry for you. I can empathize with you, but I cannot feel your pain. But in this world, we will actually be able to feel the emotions of other people. You can actually not just transfer data and sensory information, but emotions. I would know your pain, you would know our pain, and human beings would never be alone. So, we will come to a point where we, as gods, like gods, will be creating our own reality.
Listen to what he just said. He said, we, as gods, like God. Esau seeks to become like the Most High. All right? And his chip is one of his ways that he can do this, all right? And if you take it, you're pledging yourself to Satan. You're pledging yourself to him, just like the servant that doesn't want to leave his master. So they take something like an ice pick to put it through his ear. So when people see that, they understand that he's a servant to his master forever. That chip is like that. All right? You take this chip, your ass is grass. I'm just going to say it like that. And creating your own reality and all these miracles and wonders that this is doing is not worth facing the trials and tribulations that's going to come, man. And you being destroyed within them. See, the Most High, he doesn't just have to get you like you're just going to survive, you're going to be good, and then you're going to be nuked. No, the race war is going to happen. Pestilence, all right? Famine. He can have you caught up in all of them. You got shot in the race war. You starving in a famine, but he getting you by just because he want to nuke you at the end. You and catch the disease. Your wound is motherfucking. You got shot in the leg during the race war or something, or during martial law. So now your leg is fucking very infected. You got to get it cut off or something before the infection starts to travel up. And then right before you fucking die, them nukes will come on you. All right? He can have you really fucked up out here, man. Because don't forget, even if you take the chip, for those of y'all that want to take it, Esau's plan is to knock the population down to 500 million and under. And a lot of that don't include you, even those who want to bow down. See, I'm doing good, Esau, Master Esau. I'm taking the chip, Master Esau. He still don't include you. He'll still body you. All right?
We will be redefining what the human experience is for the first time in history. This can happen, and it will happen, but what we want to think about is this. Technology is really powerful. The internet, being connected, is really powerful, but we've already seen in a very primitive way, just with our cell phones, these primitive devices, how it can totally change our life. Like all of our lives are changed by WeChat. All of our lives are changed by the internet. Well, we are embarking on a path now where we will become the internet. The internet will become us. They will be inseparable. We'll have our storage and everything else all over the place. And when we do
you will become a part of the Internet of Things.
That, we have to understand that this is a big responsibility. It's something we as a society, we as the human race, must think about very, very carefully. Because imagine, people can hack your cell phone now. People can hack your computer, and it can be bad. They can steal your banking information, take all your money. They can steal your identity, but they can't really hurt you. In the future, though, if somebody hacks into your head because it's connected to the internet, they can steal you. They could actually steal you. They can implant memories in your head that you don't have. They could erase memories. They could control you.
Case in point. When they come back, when Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and the angels come back, all right, they were afraid, but yet durst they still fought. The army that set up to fight Yahushai and the thousands that he come with. They don't have no choice. Because to be a part of Esau's army in the future, you're going to have that microchip, which is the mark of the beast. All right? So, like I said, he just summed it up. There's a back door to everything that he just said. Of course, there's all these miracles and all these wonders. But it comes with a risk, all right? A very grave risk. And ultimately, you're going to be hit by a nuke. Or hit by a beam, right? As a matter of fact, yeah, you're going to get hit by a beam. That's right. Let's get 2nd Ezra chapter 13. And let's start at 10. No, let's start at 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, which is the bottom of the chariot. He opened the bottom of the chariot, or it was opened already. I don't know how a chariot actually looks, or the one he's going to come back in, or how it looks. As it had been a blast of fire, And out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. This is him dropping a laser beam. All right, continuing. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and a smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. That's right. You're going to get nuked or hit by a laser beam.
In ways that you wouldn't even know you're being controlled. Is this scary? So I painted on the hand a heaven, but there is also a hell, right? This is heaven and hell. We are on the cusp of this technology that is so powerful and has the potential to so radically transform our lives and our existence, and we have to be very careful about how we do this. We don't want people controlling us. So think about this. Think very carefully. Everybody in this room are very smart people. You're all highly educated. We are going to be making these decisions that lay the groundwork for this technology in our lifetime. And those decisions will affect the rest of humanity more than any decisions we have made in the past. So I wanted to thank you. I am the author also of this book, Making Elephants Fly, published by Zhang Xin. And I love China. I travel here all the time looking at new technology.
I hope that was edifying, and with that, shalom.